Hello there you guys, welcome to another of my videos. So Fred has reportedly told 442 that he wants to stay at Manchester United. That's my desire and I don't want to leave. And he said I've always said I want to be an important player and win trophies for the football club. Now, Fred has been subjected to transfer speculation in recent weeks. Galatasaray have obviously been interested in him. They've inquired about getting him on loan. Obviously, Roma have also been interested. Now, since the arrival of Bruno Fernandes, Fred has found game time quite difficult at Manchester United. Obviously, now we've got Donny van de Beek on the board. He's going to find game time even more difficult now. Fred has endured a few years with Manchester United. We did get him in Jose Mourinho's final transfer window. We paid £52 million for him from Shakhtar Donetsk. Fred has got a contract with us until 2023. Fred's made around 70 odd appearances for Man United since his arrival. Now, I definitely believe that there's aspects of his game that have really improved. I think he was very, very good for the vast majority of last season. And he confounded his critics wrong, because under the Jose Mourinho era, Fred received a lot of criticism. But let's be honest, under the Jose Mourinho era, Fred never really got his opportunities, did he? So that is the breaking news on him. Now, I want to delve into some news on Jadon Sancho. So, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is expecting Manchester United to sign Sancho for the Crystal Palace game. Now, Sancho has reportedly told Solskjaer in private negotiations that he wants to play for the football club. Now, Fabrizio Romano recently revealed that the personal terms and the agent fees have been agreed with Sancho. We have put a bid in of around £90 million, with a further £18 million due in performance-related add-ons. And we are going to pay the fee in instalments over the course of the next 2 to 3 seasons. So obviously this will make Jadon Sancho our most expensive signing, and it will make him the most expensive British player in history. Sancho's also agreed a contract with Man United worth around 250 grand a week. This will make him the third highest paid player at the football club behind De Gea and Paul Pogba. He is going to be signing a 5-year contract with Manchester United. Sky Sports did recently say that we had breakthrough in negotiations to sign Sancho. Now, obviously, throughout the course of this Jadon Sancho transfer saga, it has been Borussia Dortmund's asking price that has been the stumbling block. But now I just think we are persuaded to meet what they are demanding. So I think probably Sancho is going to be our second signing in this summer transfer window, and he's going to be making his debut against Crystal Palace. Now, it also said that he was set to get a bonus payment in his Borussia Dortmund contract for the appearance he made for England against Iceland recently. Mike Phelan, who was our assistant, he'd said that Man United could be closing in on a deal for the player. But Sancho, he does remain our number one priority target. And we already confirmed that we are not giving up on the signing of the player unless he publicly says that he wants to stay at Borussia Dortmund. Quite a few weeks ago, this deal looks dead in the water because it had said we had abandoned our chase for the player until the summer of 2021, which is obviously next summer. And Borussia Dortmund were very convinced that he will remain with them at least for one more season. But we have been in for Sancho for like the last 3 years, and Solskjaer did say that, he's infuriated, about the Jadon Sancho deal, and he's urged Ed Woodward to get him on the board. I've outlined the reasons why I want him at the football club is because he's got a very, very good friendship with Rashford. He's predominantly a right winger, and Manchester United are in search for the right winger. He's still very, very young, and he'll dramatically improve us. These are the reasons I want him, and plus he will exceed expectations in the Premier League. His stats with Dortmund last season were very, very good. He scored 17 goals and provided 17 assists. He's got a contract with Dortmund still till 2022. He's endured 3 years with Borussia Dortmund. Dortmund only paid £8 million in for Man City back in 2017. He endured a couple of years with Man City. The main explanation why he left Manchester City is because he didn't get assured any first team opportunities. It's good from Manchester City perspective when he's sold in this summer transfer window because they do get around 15% of the transfer fee. We know that Sancho is going to be our next number 7 because he'll fulfill number 7 really, really well. And at this moment in time, we've got number 7 vacant, but we've had a lot of good number 7s up and down the generations. But don't forget around, was it back in August, which was obviously last month, it said that Sancho had already agreed personal terms with Man United, and he said he was set to sign a 5-year deal. Obviously, Fabrizio Romano had confirmed this. And then after that got reported, it said that talks have broken down between us and Dortmund. Christian Falk, he's spoken about the Sancho saga a few times. Simon Stone from the BBC was very reliable. He's spoken about it a few times as well. But I do believe now it is going to happen. Now, obviously, for quite a while, we have been looking at a lot of alternatives to Sancho because I will make an admission, he is much cheaper solutions than him. And, Dortmund have let quite a few of their big names go in recent years. A lot of them have gone to the Premier League. They let the likes of Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang go. They let Christian Pulisic go. They let Ilkay Gundogan go, Mkhitaryan, let Shinji Kagawa go at one point. They let the likes of Ousmane Dembele, Lewandowski and Matt Hummels go. So they have let players go. But there again, they've recruited a few players in recent years. I think we've missed out on 2 players so far under Solskjaer, and that was obviously Erling Haaland and Jude Bellingham. They both went to Borussia Dortmund. Obviously, last month, Dortmund said we had until the 10th of August to sign the player. Obviously, we missed out on that deadline, so Sancho decided to go out on pre-season. So yeah, I think it's definitely happening now. Now, I just want to delve into some news on Thiago Alcantara from Bayern Munich. So, he has revealed his next club that he prefers if he is to leave Bayern Munich. So he does prefer move to Liverpool over Manchester United. I don't even know if Thiago Alcantara is going to leave Bayern Munich. Don't forget he recently missed Bayern Munich training. He recently gave us an update on his future, and he actually refused to comment on transfers to Manchester United or Liverpool. He did deny asking Bayern Munich to leave, but he did say that, he could end up staying now at Bayern Munich. There's no main explanation why he wants to leave Bayern Munich because Bayern Munich are so dominant. Thiago Alcantara has endured 7 seasons with Bayern Munich, scored 31 goals in 235 games in all competitions. Obviously won a total of 16 major honours. His contract with Bayern Munich does expire next year. Bayern Munich did pay around 25 million euros for him from Barcelona back in 2013. Obviously, Bayern Munich have already revealed their asking price. They do want around £25 million, which is a cheap solution. Liverpool have been reluctant to meet their asking price for a while because they know he's available on a free next year. He said Liverpool only step up their interest if Gini Wijnaldum is to leave them, and obviously Barcelona are trying to get him. He said that Solskjaer held talks with Thiago Alcantara the other week over a possible move, because he says we're looking to hijack Liverpool's move for the player. He's 29 years of age, is Thiago, predominantly a box-to-box midfielder, but can be deployed as an attacking midfielder and a holding midfielder. So that is the breaking news on him. Now, what will Donny van de Beek bring to Manchester United? Well, I think he'll add more depth in the squad. I think he'll bring more creativeness in our midfield. And I think he'll complement Bruno Fernandes and Paul Pogba fantastically well in our midfield. The question is as well, where are we going to play him? More than likely, we'll put him in central midfield because he's predominantly a box-to-box midfielder. But obviously before, he's been deployed as an attacking midfielder, and he's also been used as a holding midfielder, but not very, very much. Now, obviously, Donny van de Beek is our first signing in this summer transfer window. Obviously, we paid just over £34 million up front. Obviously, we got him in a deal worth £40 million. Don't forget there was add-ons included in the deal. Donny van de Beek signed a 5-year contract with Manchester United. That will keep him at the football club till 2025. And there's also an option of a further year. And Donny van de Beek will be wearing the number 34 shirt. And he will be making his debut against Crystal Palace on the opening day. And I think he'll also bring goals to Manchester United. But yeah, he's a very, very good signing. But obviously, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has said he wants to make 3 more signings after Donny van de Beek. This summer transfer window shuts in under a month. And Manchester United have still got quite a lot to do. Obviously, we've got to sign a centre-half in. Obviously, we're trying to get a left-back in. It'd be beneficial if we could get a left-back in, obviously. We're trying to get Sergio Reguilon from Real Madrid. We're also trying to get Alex Telles from Porto. They're 2 left-backs on our agenda. Like I said, we need to sign Sancho. We obviously need to sell players in this summer transfer window. We could get rid of up to at least 7-8 players in this summer transfer window. We're looking to get rid of Jesse Lingard. We're looking to get rid of Andres Pereira. We're looking to get rid of Smalling. I think he's close to leaving Man United, like Damasio recently revealed. He said he's agreed terms with Roma. Rojo, we're looking to get rid of him. Phil Jones, we're looking to get rid of him. Diego Dalot, we're looking to get rid of him. Don't forget Sergio Romero is open to leaving Manchester United. Because obviously now Dean Henderson's back at United. Sergio Romero's our third choice goalkeeper. And he won't want to stay at Man United as third choice, will he? So we sell players in this summer transfer window, will generate money, and it will help us with our rebuilding process. We have got rid of a lot of the deadwood though since Solskjaer got recommended into the football club. We've got rid of the likes of Lukaku, Sanchez. We recently loaned Dylan Levitt out. James Garner's set to go on loan. We loaned Tahith Chong out quite a few weeks ago. Angel Gomez left the club. Herrera's left the club. Fellaini's left the club. Darmian's left the club. Valencia left the club last summer. Young left in January. So a lot of players have left since Solskjaer got recommended into the club. Like I updated you yesterday, Solskjaer gave us an update on our transfer plans. And he says we still remain very active in this transfer market and we are still looking to bring new additions into the team. But he said he will be content without signings, so he won't be too bothered if we don't make any more signings. Maybe he's happy with the transfer business we've done and he's happy with the squad we've got at this moment in time. But we still know that he's looking to improve the squad. And Solskjaer did recently say that, he was frustrated with Ed Woodward. Main explanation over the lack of transfer business. And we've been very, very critical of the board for several years. Obviously, reflecting on how poor our recruitment policy's been. Obviously, we've overpaid for players in recent years. We've made mistakes in the last 7 years. And that's one of the main explanations why we've been so inconsistent. But I just think, the managers we've had since the Ferguson era just haven't been backed enough by the board. And I think Solskjaer, the way he's turned Manchester United around, he does deserve more backing, because I feel as though Solskjaer is progressing as Manchester United manager. And don't forget, he publicly come out and admitted that Manchester United have got to spend money in this summer transfer window if we are to compete with the likes of City, Liverpool, and now perhaps Chelsea. But Woodward said quite a few times that he's determined to back Solskjaer in this summer transfer window. He also, the first part of last season assured that his job was safe, and the Glazers said that they are determined to back Solskjaer. But there's still time, for us to get at least one more signing on the board. But there has been so many players on our agenda. I said to you, didn't I, it would have been very beneficial if we'd have got a director of footballing. Because obviously that would give Ole Gunnar Solskjaer more help. But I said if we were to get a director of footballing, we need someone who knows the culture of the club, someone who's got that experience, someone with the right philosophy. We've been in the process of trying to get a director of footballing since like the Jose Mourinho era. Solskjaer has been at Manchester United now over a year and a half. And I have seen improvements under him. Like I said, I think our recruitment's really, really improved under him because he's got most of the players that he wanted to get in. We have missed out on a few players. So far, in total, Solskjaer's made, 5 permanent signings at the club. Obviously, we got Daniel James last summer and Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire. In January, we got Bruno Fernandes. And obviously, we got Odion Ighalo on loan. Just after lockdown, we extended Odion Ighalo's loan till January 2021. And we recently got Donny van der Beek from Ajax. And we've also brought a few academy players in. So it's good that more young players are coming in. And, there's a lot of good young players coming through at Manchester United. But he has spent over £200 million so far. I think the way Solskjaer promoted the youth last season was also very, very good. I definitely believe that there's players that have improved under Solskjaer, especially the top players. I think Martial's improved, Rashford's improved. Pogba, he was very, very good towards the end of last season. I thought his combination with Bruno Fernandes was very, very good. For the vast majority of last season, though, didn't really have a perception on Paul Pogba because don't forget he was out with that ankle injury. Pogba sustained a few injuries as a Manchester United player. I think we've definitely got to get Paul Pogba a new long-term contract at the football club to end the uncertainty over his future because he has had a long-running transfer saga as Paul Pogba. Around this time last year, Paul Pogba had made an admission saying that, he wanted to leave Manchester United because he was seeking for a new challenge. Don't forget he was relentlessly linked with a move to Real Madrid and he was talking a lot about Zinedine Zidane. Obviously, there was talks about Paul Pogba going back to Juventus. Maybe there's still a possibility, chance he could make a return to Juventus. PSG, Barcelona and Milan have been in for him before. Now, as it stands at the moment, Pogba's just got under a year left on his Man United contract, but the club do have an option to extend it for a further year. Pogba's agent, Mini Raiola, said a few weeks ago that Pogba will stay at Man United this summer, and he will hold talks over a new contract. He did recently say that Pogba was refusing to sign a new deal. But Fabrizio Romano has already confirmed that Pogba's happy at Manchester United and he obviously wants to stay. He said a few weeks before the end of last season, was it, that Pogba was close to signing a 5-year deal with a football club. As it stands at the moment, Pogba's our most expensive signing because obviously, we paid £89 million for him. But I think it's very imperative that we do keep him at the football club. Earlier on this year was very critical of his agent, Mini Raiola, because obviously, he publicly criticised Solskjaer and Manchester United. I think definitely Fred has improved under Solskjaer a lot. I think McTominay has really, really improved. Don't forget, not so long ago, McTominay had signed a 5-year deal with Manchester United. I think it's the foreseeable future for the club. Last season, though, don't forget he had that ankle injury. I definitely believe Matic has improved under the Solskjaer era. Obviously, it was towards the end of last season, Matic was getting starts and he was getting there ahead of Fred and McTominay. Not so long ago that Matic had signed a 3-year deal with the club. Matic has enjoyed like 3 years with Man United. We got him from Chelsea in a deal worth £40 million back in 2017. I think Luke Shaw's really, really improved as well. Luke Shaw's enjoyed 6 years with Manchester United. Obviously, we got him from Southampton back in 2014 for like £30 million. My only element of concern about Luke Shaw is that he is injury prone. I think Williams was exceptional last season. Last season was Williams' first full season in the senior squad. Don't forget, he recently got given the number 33 shirt. He's going to be the first player to wear the number 33, I think, since Paddy McNair. And not so long ago, Brandon Williams signed a 4-year contract with the football club. I think, Mason Greenwood, he was exceptional last season. I think last season was his first full season in the senior squad. Greenwood obviously does play on that right-hand side. He was getting a lot of starts towards the end of last season because of the vast majority of last season. A lot of Mason Greenwood's appearances were coming from the bench. I've also been very, very impressed with Bruno Fernandes. He's definitely made a difference in the team since his arrival from Sporting Lisbon. I think we got Bruno Fernandes, was it, in a deal worth like £50-odd million. He scored 12 or 13 goals in all competitions since his arrival. Bruno Fernandes has won Premier League Player of the Month 3 times, reflects on how good he's been. So, yeah. So definitely seeing improvements. But don't get me wrong, there's still improvements needed at Manchester United. There really, really is. I think this season Solskjaer's got to improve his decision making, because in a lot of games last season Solskjaer's decision making was very, very poor. But there were some games where he showed tactical flexibility, to be fair. I think there's still aspects of our game that I've got to improve. There's certain players that I've obviously got to improve. Obviously, De Gea's obviously got to get back to his best vein of form, because he's been a liability in the last couple of years, reflects on the calamitous mistakes he has made. Harry Maguire, he's got to improve this season. This season's going to be Harry Maguire's second season at Manchester United. Obviously, last season was his first season at the club. We got Harry Maguire in a deal worth £80 million from Leicester last summer. So he's the second most expensive signing at the club and the most expensive centre-half in the world. We know that Maguire's going to remain Man United captain this season, so Solskjaer's made his decision on that. Maguire was given extra time off recently, reflecting on his court case in Greece and his arrest in Greece. I think Lindelof's also got to improve. If we was to sign a centre-half, then obviously Lindelof would be then a backup for us. I'm not saying Lindelof's a bad player, but obviously he's not on Harry Maguire's level. I think this season is it going to be Lindelof's 4th season at Man United. We got him from Benfica back in 2017 for £30 million. Eric Bailly, he's also got to improve his fitness. I think Bailly will remain at Man United at least for another season, like Lindelof will. Bailly's enjoyed 4 years with the club. We got him from Villarreal back in 2016 for £30 million. But my only element of concern about Bailly is that he's injury prone. But prior to that, pretty good centre half. Pretty good centre half. So yeah, so there's still certain players that I've got to improve. Well, yeah, like I said, not long now till the season starts. This season is going to be Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's second full season at the football club. But this season is the big test for him. It really, really is, because he knows that he's got bigger expectations to exceed this season. I think our expectations this season will be obviously to challenge for the Premier League title. I'm hopeful that we can. I'm hopeful at some point that we can obviously win a title under Solskjaer. I know some Manchester United fans don't think Solskjaer's good enough to win the title, because let's be honest, he hasn't got a fantastic pedigree behind him. Manchester United is the third club in his managerial career. Before he was with us, he was at Molde. He did actually win a few Norwegian titles with them, to be fair. And obviously, before he was at Molde, he was at Cardiff. His record at Cardiff was absolutely disastrous. The main explanation why I got sacked from Cardiff is because he ended up getting them relegated, but only enjoyed a short tenure with them. But he has now got that managerial experience behind him, quite a lot now, because he's been at Man United for quite some time. If we was to win the title under Solskjaer, it would be our first title under him, and it would be our 21st title overall, because as it stands at the moment, we've won 20 titles and 13 of them are Premier League titles. So as it stands at the moment, we are the most successful team in Premier League history. But I still think we're at least a couple of years off winning the title. You saw one of my videos I did the other day, and I said to you how Manchester United can win the title under Solskjaer, and that's making at least 5 signings in this summer transfer window, which we're obviously not going to do. I think we'll make probably 2 more signs, but we won't make 5. Obviously, we've got to keep the players that we need at the football club and all of that. But I do think we'll win the title again at some point. We haven't won it since 2013. So the last time we won it was in Ferguson's last season, and we haven't mounted any title challenge up in the last 7 years. So that just indicates how inconsistent we have been, because in the last 7 years, obviously, there's been cultural problems at the club. There's been obviously a lot of problems with the club's board. Obviously, we've had different managers with different philosophies. We've sacked 3 managers since the Ferguson era, and that was obviously Moyes. He only lasted 8 or 9 months. Louis van Gaal, he lasted 2 years. Won the FA Cup under him, and we sacked Mourinho. He endured 2.5 years at the club, despite winning the Europa League and the League Cup in his first season at Manchester United. And we've recruited over 30 players in since the Ferguson era. And we spent close to the £1 billion range on them. But a lot of the players we've brought in the last 7 years haven't been the right calibre players for Manchester United and that. So, yeah, Solskjaer's our 4th permanent manager since the Alex Ferguson era. I'm expecting Manchester United to also win some silverware this season, because we've only won 3 trophies in the last 7 years since Ferguson left. In the entirety of our history, we've won 45 trophies. Obviously, 38 of them trophies came under Ferguson. Like I said, vast majority of our success came under Sir Alex Ferguson. And I said it's going to be hard for any manager at Man United, or any manager in general, to replicate Ferguson's legacy or to last as long as Alex Ferguson did. But, we haven't won a major honour for over 3 years, and that's the first time this has happened in just over 30 years. And, we've not yet won out in terms of silverware under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. But it's a transition period for Man United, and it has been a transition period for a while. Last season was Solskjaer's first full season at the club. And at the first part of last season, we enjoyed our worst start ever to a Premier League season. At that point, everybody thought Solskjaer was going to get sacked as Manchester United manager, because obviously he was under serious pressure. And there was obviously talks at that point of Pochettino coming in, or Massimiliano Allegri coming in to replace him. But to be fair, he exceeded most of his expectations last season, because he got us qualification for the Champions League. He also got us 3rd, and he progressed us to 3 semi-finals. Got us to the FA Cup semi-final, the Europa League semi-final, and the EFL Cup semi-final. But like Solskjaer said, semi-finals are not good enough. Another good thing as well, we have extended a lot of players' contracts since Solskjaer came into the club. I think there's some players, though, we shouldn't have given contracts to, but there again, there's some players, who did deserve new contracts at Man United. But yeah. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update you with today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.